This is going to be a panel discussion, ladies and gentlemen, on the topic Delhi NCR luxury reality, if it is a sustainable boom or a potential bubble. I'm going to be first introducing our moderator, and then I'm going to be introducing our speakers in alphabetical order, and then I'll request all of them to join me on stage together. This session is going to be moderated on stage by Mr. Ravi Shankar Singh, who's the Managing Director, Residential Transactions, Colliers, India. Mr. Ravi Shankar Singh, with rich experience spanning more than 2 decades across real estate and banking with some leading real estate players, has impressive technical, strategic, and leadership skills that have allowed him to craft cutting-edge, progressive solutions for clients across all industries. Always having looked out for the client's best interests, he enjoys robust stakeholder relations and a distinguished reputation as an industry veteran. That's our moderator for the session, ladies and gentlemen. Now I'm going to be introducing our speakers in alphabetical order. With over 18 years of experience in the real estate industry across residential, commercial, IT, and retail projects, Mr. Gurpal Chawla brings a holistic understanding of the sector. Under his leadership, TREVOC has launched its flagship project, TREVOC Royal Residences on Golf Course Road, Gurugram, and is now all set to expand its footprint across Delhi, NCR, and Tier 2 cities like Sonipat, Panipat, and Karnal. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Gurpal Singh Chawla, Managing Director of TREVOC Group. We also have with us today Mudassir Zaidi, who's the Executive Director, North Knight Frank India Private Limited. In a career spanning more than 20 years, Mudassir ji has held multiple roles within Knight Frank. He is responsible for managing the North Indian region and its growth. And prior to this, he managed the Pan-India residential agency portfolio as the national head, commercial leasing. He handled major transactions in office leasing and outright purchase of large corporations. We also have with us today Mr. Sudeep Bhatt, who's the Director, Strategy, Whiteland Corporation. He's a seasoned strategist with over 26 years of extensive experience and a key architect of Whiteland strategic direction. Mr. Bhatt is responsible for defining and executing the company's business strategies across residential and commercial sectors, ensuring that every initiative is aligned with the company's core values of growth, innovation, and of course, customer satisfaction. We also have with us today Mr. Sunil Goel, who's the Managing Director, Numax Realcon Private Limited. Sunil ji has over 34 years of experience as co-founder and former joint Managing Director of Numax Limited. He spearheaded landmark township ventures in Lucknow, Indore, and New Chandigarh. By the year 2017, he had overseen the delivery of 100 million square feet of projects, and that very same year, he also launched Numax, which is embodying his vision of innovation. He has now unveiled Numax City RERA approved, a landmark 100-acre integrated township in Muzaffarnagar designed as Western UP's first of its kind world-class township. Upcoming 100-acre townships in Gwalior, Rai Bareli, and Sona are also about to be unveiled. We also have with us today Ms. Yukti Nagpal, Director, Gulshan Group. Yukti ji has been redefining luxury living by seamlessly integrating sustainability, wellness, and creating modern-day oases nestled around thriving communities. And under her leadership, Gulshan Group has set new benchmarks in eco-friendly luxury housing. Furthermore, her forward-thinking approach is evident in her emphasis on wellness-centric living spaces. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a fantastic panel. Can I request all our panelists to please join me on stage together, please? And can I have a big round of applause for all our panelists in this room? Maybe it's not a full house over here, but let's not make them feel like it's a full house. All of you a little louder for all our incredible panelists over here, please. Thank you so much, sir. Pleasure to have you. Thank you so much, sir. Pleasure to have you. Thank you so much, sir. Pleasure to have you. I'll request everybody to please remain seated as per the photo alignments so that there's a clear match in terms of the photo and the person sitting in front of them. We're waiting for some of our speakers, I believe. Sapna, are you looking into it? Yeah. We're just waiting for Yukti ji and Sudeep ji. So. Update the timer for 35 minutes, please. Yes, there we go. We have our speakers as well. Yukti ji, thank you so much for being with us over here. Pleasure to have you. Thank you. And waiting for Sudeep ji as well. So, oh yeah, yeah. Hi sir. Yeah, full house now. We are all set to go. And the timer is updated for your reference. You can refer that, sir. And yeah, you can go. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Reality Plus conference. We are on a very interesting topic today, which is NCR luxury. Is it a sustainable boom or a potential bubble? Now, that's a question I get asked every day. And most of my investors, customers are very inquisitive of that. The reason being is fairly simple. We have seen a period from 2012 almost till 2020 where nothing in NCR moved. And there was a standstill, land prices, apartment sales, developer confidence, everything had hit rock bottom. But suddenly after the lockdown, starting say 21, 22, we saw a lot of traction in real estate. All the pent-up demand has hit the market and skyrocketed the pricing in our region. So, we'll try to cover all those aspects today. We have our esteemed panel with us, I think, who will throw a lot of light on the subject matter. So, Mudassir, I think my first question would be to you. How has the luxury market in NCR evolved in the last few years?
Thanks. See, overall, as you rightly put, we've seen since the the recovery from COVID times, we've seen a huge boom that has come in, mostly in the luxury segment. We call it the premiumization of real estate. Prior to COVID, the average ticket sizes were in the range of about 1.5, 2 crores. In the entire NCR region, even Gurugram used to be in that region. And post that, I think COVID was one major factor which changed people's minds. From people living and working out of homes, people realized that they needed larger homes, they needed better amenities. They realized that the ecosystem that they kind of lived in had to be far, far better. Also, what happened was during the worst of times, where the real estate market was for almost about 10 odd years, nothing was moving. From at the worst of times in 2020 during COVID, the prices were almost similar to 2012, 2013 levels. So almost about 8-9 years, prices hadn't increased as well. So there was a lot of pent-up demand which was there. There was a change in mindset during COVID which happened, and which essentially resulted in a major change coming in both from the buyer's side as well as from the developer side, who realized that such a requirement existed. At the same time, the economy in the of the country was continuing to grow. The overall levels in terms of growth rates were in the 6-7% range for a period of time. Your cost of capital had come down significantly. Your cost of overall real estate was quite low. So it created a very, very fertile kind of environment for sales to happen. So there's a lot of pent-up demand. People realizing that they needed better amenities, larger homes, cost of capital lower. Therefore, your affordability in that sense in the market was very, very good. So we at Knight Frank do an affordability index. And in the peak times in 2013-14, our number had gone up to, for NCR, had gone up to about 65-70 on a scale of 0 to 100, 65-70. In the worst of times in 2020, it had come down to about 30-35 in that range. So in a way, affordability had come down to half the, in terms of what we were doing in 2013. So it was, like I said, a very fertile environment for luxury to boom. And that is where it happened. Most buyers wanted to then look at much better kind of opportunities in the market. And that's how the entire evolution of real estate from a luxury perspective started off.
Just to add to the last question, do you still see more investors in the market, or is the trend shifting towards end use?
Uh, NCR has always been a market which has been investor driven. If you look at how most markets across India function, North has been the market which has the highest proportion of investors. It comes down as you go southwards, comes down to lower levels in Mumbai, and the least are towards the south of India. Obviously, it is, investors are a double-edged sword, I would say. In the best of times, it gives us, they give us a lot of liquidity, quick sales, etc. Confidence to keep on launching. But in the worst of times, they come back to sell in the market and create further competition for developers as well. However, in the last many years, people have realized that these I would call them the short-term investors. Obviously, there are investors who are there for the longer term, who want to invest and keep it with them for a period of time. That's fine. But the short-term investors are the ones which can be an issue in times to come. However, those, they are obviously there for the returns. They're not really rooted to that particular product. So in times where they feel that the market is going up, they're there. And in times where they start feeling that the returns are not going to be around, then obviously they start holding on. So I think we've reached a stage now, we've had about 4 or 5 years of good times. I think we've now reached a stage where I feel that maybe the proportion of overall investors, short-term investors, would start, kind of tapering down. And more of long-term investors, more of end users will start, being in the market. There will be a larger proportion comparatively.
Great, thank you so much. And I think one more thing that will greatly add to it is, if the spread between the rental yield and the cost of funds were to equate itself further in India. Residential properties today typically see a 1.5–2% return on yield on an annual basis. If that was to go up to about 4–5%, I think there would be more. The investment will make more sense rather than just on the capital gain side of it. Right. Great. So, Gurpal, next question to you. Okay. Now, we know there is a lot of demand for luxury in the market. And in 23, if my stats are correct, about $1 billion was invested in real estate from the startup industry. Yeah, so now, well, things have cooled down a little bit in 24, 25. As per you, what are the key factors that is going to drive demand for luxury housing in NCR? You as a developer, what are you foreseeing?
I think, thank you for the question, and I think Mudassir also gave a good heads up to, the entire evolution of luxury living and the luxury demand. So as you said, the startup culture, I think the entire Indian economy, I was just reading, we're closing to the $5 trillion mark. So that's a very healthy, sign that all the companies, all the industries are growing. So people are making money. And NCR per se has seen a lot of the startup founders, the startup, the upper management, the CEOs, CXOs buying the houses. And they're well traveled now. They need projects with good amenities, better layouts. And I think that's where the demand is maximum coming from. And from COVID, yes, COVID was 5 years ago. We have a short-term memory, but still, after that, there was a big jump, and everyone wanted good houses. Why there was no luxury houses in Gurugram? Because nobody wanted to spend an extra buck on their house before they actually realized the value of the amenities and the value of the houses. So post-COVID, there was a mindset shift, and it gave developers also the courage to come up with better planned and luxurious and better amenity projects. With the growing demand in the economy, it helped for the luxury living to grow.
Thanks, Gurpal. Yukti, coming to you. You are also a very prominent developer in the region, your company. So, uh, a lot of consumers today have a tough time deciding or differentiating, should I say, between products. Okay. So, my question is, what differentiates the latest luxury offerings in the region from the previous ones? And how should consumers evaluate their options?
That's a very interesting question, and I have so much to say about it because, like Sir just mentioned, last 5 years in the luxury real estate industry have been one of the fastest evolving times that I have seen in my career. And from a place where from a place like Noida where 5,000 rupees a square feet was a tough game, a tough gamble. Today we are talking 25,000 and 30,000 rupees a square feet, and the market is accepting. So with the shift, the luxury is definitely evolving. What started as larger spaces, then eventually transformed into better specifications and more expensive marbles, perhaps, and then eventually went into a better clubhouse, better amenities. Then we saw the 2020 to 23 time where we were seeing a lot of sustainable islands. A complex where everything was available at a click of a button is what we saw. And now I think even that is done and dusted with. Now there's another new emerging trend is that we want the hospitality, we want the luxury that we get in the hotel, and that I think is the next big thing in luxury, and which is what most of us are now working towards. Who gives us this confidence is definitely those investors who've been with us since the very beginning. I can speak for my company, Gulshan Group, that the people that bought their first Kothis from the ones that bought with us then, 20, 25 years ago, are the same ones that have invested in Gulshan Dynasty and are the same ones that are asking us, "Ab aap naya kya kar rahe ho?" So I think that evolution is visible in their mindset, in their demands, and their appetite to experiment, which is what gives us that confidence. So how do you choose what is latest, what is the right product is definitely according to what you are looking for. If your journey, if you're, as a customer, your journey, this is your first luxury purchase, then I would definitely say that you look for a credible buyer, which goes for all stages though, but something that is a large space and nice materials and good amenities. And when you've tasted that, then you perhaps look for what is the next thing. So I think for the early investors, I would say go for a safe bet that has been going for the last 2-3 years. And for the hardcore investors, I would say that the next thing in luxury is here, and I think it's time to look at it.
No, I agree with that, and thank you for your insights. But what's happening in today's time is whatever is being sold is not yet constructed. And so, how do consumers go that extra mile to make sure that they are taking the right decision in buying the right product?
That's where the credibility plays a role in, right? You have to see the track record of the developer. You have to see how successfully they have developed or not developed the previous belongings. And I think that goes for every business, not just in real estate. You invest where you see the right intent. So, and the consumer of today is very smart. They're very educated and very, very well exposed. I mean, I don't think anybody would buy a property now before visiting the office and meeting the top management and doing the necessary rounds outside of the online research. So I think that already prevails. The customer now is smarter than the buyer, and they are rather educating the developers what to do next. So yeah, just look at the brand, look at the credibility, and uske baad trust them because you have.
सुनील जी, आपको ये क्वेश्चन मैं आपको भी थोड़ा पुट करूँगा. You have so much experience in developing quality real estate. In fact, NCR में आपका project, it's still renowned as one of the best projects of its time when you did Forest. And now you have ventured out into other cities, bringing quality to them, which they have not seen before. So, आपके हिसाब से what new innovations are going to hit real estate in time?
थैंक यू वेरी मच. देखिए, दिस इज सुनील गोयल. ओमैक्स कंपनी आपने सुना होगा, मैं उसका फॉर्मर जॉइंट एमडी रहा हूँ. अभी मैंने अपना न्यू वेंचर चालू किया है न्यूमैक्स के नाम से. न्यू ओमैक्स बोलिए आप. 35 साल का मुझे अनुभव है. जो अभी जो न्यूमैक्स जो काम कर रही है ग्वालियर में, रायबरेली में, सोना में और मुजफ्फरनगर में काफ़ी काम कर चुकी है. इस 35 साल के अनुभव के में मैंने बहुत कुछ उतार चढ़ाव देखे हैं. मैंने 2004 भी देखा है, 2003 भी देखा है, जहाँ पर पर्चियाँ बिकती थी और पर्चियों पर प्रीमियम आता था. वहाँ पर इन्वेस्टर लॉबी काम करती थी और जिसको प्लॉट अलॉट हो गया 2 लाख बिल्डर ने लिए, 2 लाख का प्रीमियम चालू हो गया. उसके बाद 2008 आया, जब पूरे वर्ल्ड में एक काफ़ी सारे बैंक अमेरिका के फेल हो गए थे वो. तो उस टाइम रियल एस्टेट के लिए बहुत टफ टाइम था. काफ़ी सारे लोग धाराशायी हो गए, काफ़ी लोग बच गए. अब ये आपका जो कोरोना टाइम जो आया उसमें बहुत टफ टाइम लोगों ने झेला. कुछ लोग सस्टेन कर गए, कुछ लोग सस्टेन नहीं कर गए. हम जो काम कर रहे हैं, जो बिल्डर लॉबी जो काम करती है, उसको इन्वेस्टर देखता है, यूजर देखता है, एक शहर देख रहा है कि आप कौन सा बिल्डर कैसे काम कर रहा है. जिसकी नेक नीयत है वो आदमी चढ़ जाता है. आज पिछले 3 साल से कोरोना के बाद में मैं देख रहा हूँ जो प्रॉपर्टी के जो रेट्स हैं काफ़ी हाइक कर गए. चाहे वो गुड़गांव हो, चाहे नोएडा हो, चाहे मेरठ में हो. उसका कारण है, मैं समझता हूँ कि आज की डेट में हर एक आदमी का माइंड सेट हो गया है, यार मकान अच्छा होना चाहिए, कंफर्ट एक अच्छा होना चाहिए, लग्जरी होना चाहिए. लग्जरी विद कंफर्ट. कि वो लग्जरी है, मैं फार्म हाउस में रहता हूँ, पूरा फुल लग्जरी है, माली लगे हुए हैं, सिक्योरिटी गार्ड लगे हुए हैं, पूरा ग्रीन है, बट कंफर्ट नहीं है. कंफर्ट क्यों नहीं है? लाइट चलेगी तो भी आपको देखना है, पानी नहीं आ रहा तो भी आपको देखना है, क्लब खुद मेंटेन करना है. तो लग्जरी विद कंफर्ट कैसे आता है? जो आज की डेट में जो ग्रुप हाउसिंग बन रही है, जो द्वारका में देख रहे होंगे 30,000 फुट माल बिक रहा है. अभी युक्ति ने बोला कि जो 5,000 फुट का जो माल था आज वो 20,000 25,000 माल बिक रहा है. क्योंकि हम बिल्डर लोगों की सोची है कि जो कस्टमर की जो नीड है वो पूरी करेंगे तो माल बिकेगा, 100% माल बिकेगा. लग्जरी क्या होगी कि बंदे को बड़ा मकान मिल जाए, उसमें पूरा AC, बिजली, पानी, कहीं भी कोई टेंशन हो, बंदा फ़ोन लगाए, बिल्डर का आदमी आए, तुरंत ठीक कर दे. उसके बच्चों के लिए बड़ा सा पूल हो, खेलकूद का सिस्टम हो, मिसेस के लिए एक पूरा एक ग्रुप हो, एक एनवायरनमेंट हो कि जहाँ पर एक अच्छे से काम कर सके. यानी जहाँ कंफर्ट होगा वहाँ लग्जरी बिकेगी आपकी, जहाँ कंफर्ट नहीं होगा वहाँ लग्जरी बिल्कुल नहीं बिकेगी. अभी मैं मुजफ्फरनगर की बात करता हूँ आपसे. मैं जब मैंने मुजफ्फरनगर स्टडी किया तो मैंने देखा पर कैपिटा इनकम मुजफ्फरनगर की एशिया के अंदर हाईएस्ट थी. वहाँ पर पेपर मिल, शुगर मिल और स्टील मिल बहुत सारी. लेकिन उन लोगों का रहन सहन क्या था? अपने बड़े मकान थे, लेकिन मकान में जाने के लिए उसको गाड़ी बाहर ही पार्क करनी थी. अपनी फैक्ट्री के अंदर पार्क करेगा या शोरूम में पार्क करेगा, वहाँ से स्कूटर उठाएगा, फिर अपनी कोठी में पहुँचेगा. वो जो मैंने देखा तो इट मीन्स जो लग्जरी है वो लग्जरी केवल NCR में नहीं चाहिए आपको. लग्जरी आपको हर छोटे से छोटे गांव में चाहिए, टायर 3 में भी चाहिए, टायर 2 में भी चाहिए. तो मैंने जब लग्जरी का सोचा कि रिक्वायरमेंट क्या है, रिक्वायरमेंट है उस आदमी को कि जहाँ मैं अपनी गाड़ी को अपने घर के सामने खड़ी कर दूँ, मेरे बच्चे के लिए बेस्ट क्लब हो, मेरी मिसेस के लिए एक बेस्ट टाउनशिप हो, और जहाँ पर आपका ऑफिस भी होगा, शॉपिंग एरिया भी होगा, स्कूल भी होगा, हॉस्पिटल भी होगा. वो लग्जरी है. लग्जरी की जो डेफिनेशन है वो हर एक के लिए अलग अलग है. पहले मेरे लिए लग्जरी एक कार थी, फिर लग्जरी मेरे बड़ा मकान बना, फिर लग्जरी एक फार्म हाउस बना. लग्जरी टाइम टू टाइम चेंज होती है. और मैं मानता हूँ जो लग्जरी अभी आज की डेट में है वो 5 साल बाद लग्जरी का नाम चेंज हो जाएगा, कुछ और हो जाएगा. जो युक्ति जी ने बताया कि हम जो काम कर रहे हैं कि बेस्ट हम लोग ग्रुप हाउसिंग बना रहे हैं और अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं, आज ये लग्जरी है, कल इसमें लग्जरी में कुछ और चीज़ ऐड ऑन हो जाएगी. AI फास्ट स्पीड से दौड़ रहा है. AI हमें सिखा रहा है कि हम कैसे बेस्ट अपने लिए कंफर्ट दे सकते हैं मिनिमम पैसे में, मिनिमम हेड के साथ में. तो जो लग्जरी है वो एक अलग सब्जेक्ट है. लग्जरी टाइम टू टाइम चेंज होता है, नंबर 1. नंबर 2, लग्जरी के साथ में कंफर्ट है तो वो लग्जरी है. तो आज की डेट में जो अगले 5 साल में मैं देखता हूँ वो बहुत रियल एस्टेट में बहुत स्कोप है। लोगों की जेब में पैसा है। हमारा जो देश है मोदी के अंडर में बड़ा एक वर्ड में बड़ा नाम कर रहा है और एक अच्छी ग्रोथ होने वाली है। इन्वेस्टर को मैं एड्रेस करना चाहूँगा, जहाँ पर आपका यूजर है, बायर है, वहाँ पर ही इन्वेस्टर आएगा। जहाँ यूजर की रिक्वायरमेंट है वहाँ बायर होगा, जहाँ यूजर नहीं आएगा वहाँ बायर नहीं आएगा। वो किसी रेट में माल नहीं खरीदेगा। लेकिन यूजर फर्स्ट इंस्टेंट में नहीं आता है, वो सेकंड स्टेज में आता है। पहली स्टेज में 50 से 80% लोग इन्वेस्टर ही होते हैं जो 10% या 25% पैसा लगाते हैं और ये उम्मीद करते हैं कि अगले साल में मेरे इस प्रोडक्ट पर 25% का प्रीमियम आ जाएगा। इसका मतलब 25% का प्रीमियम आने का मतलब है कि उसकी 100% की एक साल में ग्रोथ हो जाएगी। जब एक्चुअल यूजर कब आएगा? जब वहाँ टाउनशिप का काम चालू हो चुका होगा, लेआउट अप्रूव हो चुका होगा, रेरा आ चुका होगा और एक स्टेज पर कंस्ट्रक्शन पहुँच चुकी होगी। तब दिखने वाला जब काम होता है तब यूजर घुसता है। तब वो जो इन्वेस्टर है वो 25% की अपनी कमाई, 25% की ग्रोथ लेकर के यानी 100% की कमाई लेकर के आगे घुस जाता है। ये रियल एस्टेट का गेम है।
सर एक्सीलेंट पॉइंट। आई थिंक एक पॉइंट जिसको मैं फर्दर प्रोब करूंगा थोड़ा, आपने बात करी फर्स्ट स्टेज पे इन्वेस्टर आता है। ओके, नाउ जिस तरीके की प्राइसिंग अभी चल रही है, स्पेशली अगर मैं गुड़गांव और नोएडा की बात करूं, व्हाट इज द रिटर्न एन इन्वेस्टर टुडे investing in luxury real estate can potentially expect and in how much time?
जैसे मैंने अभी कहा कि इन्वेस्टर वहीं पर ही आएगा जहां यूजर होगा, ऐसे ही जो आरओआई वहीं पर मिलेगी जहां पर चांसेस है कि अभी जैसे अभी दिल्ली की बात करता हूं मैं। दिल्ली में आपने देखा होगा कोरोना के बाद में और आज की डेट में 25% का 30% का जंप होगा क्योंकि यहाँ मार्केट सैचुरेट हो चुकी है। अभी मैं गुड़गांव की बात करता हूँ तो गुड़गांव में जो जंप आ गया वो 100% जंप आ चुका है। जो माल 8,000 में बिक रहा था वो 16,000 बिक रहा है या 20,000 बिक रहा है। ऐसे ही नोएडा की बात करूँ तो नोएडा में भी जो माल 8,000 बिक रहा था वो आज 16,000 और 20,000 में प्रोजेक्ट लॉन्च हो रहे हैं। तो वहाँ जहाँ पर नीड होगी वहाँ रिटर्न मिलेगी 100%। जो आज की जो मार्केट है, जो मार्केट काफ़ी हाई चल रही है, यहाँ पर इन्वेस्टरों के लिए कमाने के लिए कोई ज़्यादा स्कोप नहीं है। मेरा ये मानना है ज़्यादा स्कोप नहीं है। यहाँ यूजर मार्केट आज हो चुकी है, जहाँ रेट 20,000 बिक रहा है वहाँ इन्वेस्टर कमा नहीं पाएगा, एक नॉर्मल रिटर्न कमा पाएगा। लेकिन जो अभी बियर मार्केट है, जैसे मैं बात करूँ मुजफ्फरनगर की बात करूँ या टायर 3 की, यहाँ भी टायर 3 सिटी है जहाँ बड़ा बिल्डर नहीं पहुँचा है, वहाँ माल की रिक्वायरमेंट है, वहाँ पर ज़्यादा जंप आएगा। वहाँ जो आरओआई आपकी निकलेगी वो आपकी 100% में निकलेगी, 150% में निकलेगी, 200% में निकलेगी। मैं एक लाइव एग्जांपल मैं आपको सामने कोट करता हूँ। 1 साल पहले मैंने 33,000 रुपये गज में माल बेचा मुजफ्फरनगर में। कस्टमर ने 25% पैसे दिए। आप खुद कैलकुलेट करिए, यानी 8,000 रुपये 8,500 मुझे दिए 1 गज पर। और आज मैंने नया जो प्रोडक्ट निकाला है वो 60,000 रुपये गज में निकाला है। वही प्लॉट है, सेम प्लॉट है। मार्केट में जो ट्रेडिंग हो रही है 45,000 रुपये गज में हो रही है, यानी डिफरेंस उसने 12,000 रुपये कमा लिया 8,000 रुपये लगा करके 1 साल के अंदर। 150% की रिटर्न मुजफ्फरनगर में लोगों ने कमाई है। ये रिटर्न वहाँ नहीं मिलेगी जहाँ मार्केट सैचुरेट होने जा रही है या हो चुकी है। गुड़गांव की जो मार्केट 20,000 रुपये 30,000 फुट जो बोलते हैं, वहाँ रिटर्न बंदा नहीं कमा पाएगा, वहाँ तो यूजर मार्केट है। नोएडा की जो मार्केट है जब 20,000 माल बिक रहा है वहाँ रिटर्न नहीं कमा पाएगा, वो 12%, 15%, 18% बिल्डर टू बिल्डर वो रिटर्न कमा पाएगा। जो बेयर मार्केट है जहाँ बंदे नहीं पहुँचे हैं, जहाँ बिल्डर नहीं पहुँचा है, जहाँ कुछ नई चीज़ नहीं क्रिएट की है, वहाँ पर ही कमाई इन्वेस्टर की होनी है, वहाँ पर ही आरओआई मिलनी है। वो 100% भी मिलेगी, 150% मिलेगी। नोएडा में आरओआई बंदा 25% कमा लेगा, 30% कमा लेगा, 40% कमा लेगा, इससे ऊपर नहीं कमा पाएगा।
सर ने एक बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग पॉइंट बोला दैट अकॉर्डिंग टू द ज्योग्राफी योर रिटर्न्स विल बी डिफाइंड. नो डाउट सर, 100% correct. Another point that I would like to highlight, which also sir mentioned, is the what stage you're investing in is highly proportionate to what kind of returns you get. Like higher the risk, higher the returns, right? That's the rule that we all know. which is what you also tried to say. आप नई जगह इन्वेस्ट करोगे, आपकी रिटर्न बेटर आएगी. आप स्टार्टिंग में गड्ढे में इन्वेस्ट करोगे, you have a higher chance of return. आप प्रोजेक्ट की कंस्ट्रक्शन शुरू होने के बाद करोगे, lesser chance of return. आप एकदम बनने के बाद करोगे, you're probably the most expensive buyer of that property. So it depends at the timeline, the geographies, and so many other factors. That what are you seeking from this investment is an important question one buyer first has to answer. आप इधर वेल्थ क्रिएशन के लिए आ रहे हो या आप इधर रहने के लिए आ रहे हो, या आपको बस थोड़ा सा बस अपने पैसे कहीं पार्क करने हैं. These three answers need to be asked before you put in money in real estate. I believe that.
Thank you, Yukti. Sudeep, coming to you. You've been in the industry for 2 decades now, and having worked with some top developers and being a part of the strategy team at Whiteland, it's just an addition to some questions I've asked previously also. But as an organization, what new are you bringing to the market in the luxury space? And what should consumers expect from Whiteland in time to come?
हाय, ऐसा नहीं लग रहा है कि ऋषि को मैंने ब्राइब किया कि मेरे से ये सवाल पूछना,
I genuinely thought that.
है ना? अच्छा, मतलब I thought ladies at the back busy with their phones, so let me also have your audience and your attention. Thank you, ऋषि. ये थोड़ा होम रन वाला टाइप का क्वेश्चन पूछ लिया मेरे से ऋषि. So Whiteland is about 4 years in the business, Rishi, and what one should expect from Whiteland, first and foremost, is trust. Why trust? Because it's been started by somebody who's been on the other side of the table doing this work for about 10 years. So there is this saying in English that the wearer knows where the shoe bites. Okay? So if you ask us as a Whitelander, what are we looking at or what do we promise? So we're promising primarily the highest level of governance. So most important to us as a brand is our buyer. Not cliched, but that is how it is. Second is a channel partner, people who bring business to us. Third is employee. Fourth are our financial partners. And fifth are our vendors who work with us. So these are the 5 pillars of governance that we work on. Now, what we are wanting to bring to the table is something very, very interesting. I do not know how many people here know that I am primarily a hotelier, who's gone into hospitality. So, ये good luck था कि hospitality के साथ real estate भी हो गया. So, fundamentally, what we are bringing is this amalgamation. And how many of you are channel partners here who on the broking side? Okay, I know Gitu Bhai and all right. So, some of you I already know. Great. So, how I see business shaping up, and me and Gitu Bhai have been together for almost about 20 years now. We've seen each other evolve. Tech is going to play a very, very important role in the way how business is being conceptualized, being taken to the market, and how it's being executed. Also understand that tech has a role to play in identifying who your TG is. Now, that's an important part. But more importantly, how business is shaping up is in terms of education. Now, today the buyer is aware. So, the earlier model of broking as to how we'd seen about 20 years back, that has taken a backseat. So, the buyer is aware, the buyer is educated. So, channel partners need really, really to kind of do that extra bit in terms of going with the right set of information. So what Mudassir and Rishi and their organizations bring to the table is that data-centric approach towards doing or conducting business. What we are bringing, coming to the question that Rishi had asked, is branded residences. Incidentally, Yukti's setup is also doing that. We are doing it in this region. Now, branded residences is a very exciting space to be part of as far as real estate goes. And if you look at how developed economies have seen the absorption of this product category, you'd realize that in India, where we are, the panel before spoke about the way the economy is shaping up, how excited are we to be part of this growth phase. Eventually, every business that you look at, whether it is apparel, fashion, automobile, any segment that you look at, the absorption for higher, better quality products has seen a significant increase. And housing cannot be an exception. So what we've done, Rishi, is we've tied up with one of the best globally. And what we are bringing is an international experience. Incidentally, a little bit of nationalism in me always comes alive. So good day, our Prime Minister's birthday. And also, I share this with a lot of my fellow partners always, that there has been a statement made that the Indian economy is a dead economy. Somebody spoke about it. So come to think of it, Rishi, the most powerful country in the world and the most powerful man there speaks this about our economy. So whether we sell actively or not, is a different matter. But from a nationalist perspective also, what we are doing here is for one of the biggest brands, American, doing one of their biggest standalone developments. So great moment of pride for us and a great learning for anybody and everybody who's part of the fraternity, because this is something that I see, Rishi, eventually you will see a lot of this happening. In Asia, we are ranked about 6th at the moment. And in about 3 years' time, you would see India taking a pole position. So those of you who have not been experiencing this phase of the real estate development journey, I think it is time for everybody to get a bit of this exciting piece. So we can speak more, but I also look at the timer, Rishi, and that's about it, yeah.
No, thanks, Sudeep. I think one last question, and I will just throw it at the panel. While the India story is great, we are seeing tremendous growth. The GDP is growing. There's wealth creation happening. At the same time, NCR faces a lot of issues like pollution, infrastructure, and XYZ, 3-4 more reasons. People, they want to now make money in India, but once they've made their money, they are looking to settle abroad. And I've seen that with quite a few people now, mainly because of the pollution levels in the country, in the NCR region. Now, the question is, and just a minute, or just 1 minute from each one of you, can NCR position itself as a global benchmark for luxury urban living in time? Yukti?
Yes, absolutely. We can, because we have already seen a sort of surge in the sustainable developments. Developers are not only building more less polluted places, they're also taking great initiatives to make sure their buildings have the least emissions ever. And now what needs to happen here is the private infrastructure and the public infrastructure kind of need to align itself. And yes, and I see the beginning of that already in Noida. I mean, the government has put so many laws with the wastage system, with the rainwater harvesting, with all of these STP plants. They're now a norm. You have to build zero waste societies. There's no other option. So I do see a progression towards it. And yes, in the next few years, we would definitely position it as a global benchmark for luxury.
Sunil ji?
सर मेरा ये मानना है, जब भी हम कुछ बड़ा करते हैं, कुछ बड़ा सोचते हैं, बड़ा एग्जीक्यूट करते हैं, और जब होता है उसके साइड इफ़ेक्ट ज़रूर होते हैं, और जो साइड इफ़ेक्ट होते हैं उसका इलाज निकलता है, थोड़ा टाइम लगता है. आपने देखा होगा आज से 6 महीने पहले इस यमुना जी को साफ करने के लिए इस पर पूरी बहुत पॉलिटिकल न्यूज़, पॉलिटिकल सिस्टम, पॉलिटिकल डिबेट, यमुना साफ होगी, कैसे होगी, 1 साल में ठीक कर दूंगा, 5 साल में ठीक कर दूंगा, वोट बैंक लिया, सीएम बन गए, कहीं कुछ नहीं हुआ. लेकिन चाहे वो यमुना रिवर हो, चाहे एनसीआर का पॉल्यूशन हो, या ट्रैफिक की प्रॉब्लम हो, यदि अंदर की विलिंगनेस है कुछ करने की, हर चीज़ का इलाज है. ऐसा कोई ताला नहीं बना जिसकी चाबी ना हो. अब आपने देखा होगा यमुना को, जो 2 साल पहले यमुना थी और आज की यमुना है, आज वहाँ आरती होती है हरिद्वार की तरह, आज पूरी उसकी सफाई हो रही है. ऐसी जो पॉल्यूशन है, जो जिसके कारण से ये पूरा एक दिसंबर में, जनवरी में सांस लेना भारी हो जाता है, नॉर्मल जो ओल्ड एज लोग हैं उनको बहुत ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लम हो रही है. इस पर बहुत सख्त नियम बनेंगे, सब चीज़ें होंगी और 100% होंगी, और अगले 5 साल में ये ग्लोबली एक वेल नोन कंट्री का कैपिटल बनेगा, दिल्ली का निशान बनेगा, मेरे मानना है।
Thank you. Sudeep?
So I have a couple of quick 2-3 things to share with you. So please understand, market is the greatest leveler. Okay? So market ki need aaj ye hai that you create a product which is environmentally responsible and sensitive. So it is but obvious that as developers we'll have to get an act right. Look at what the government is doing. In terms of green energy, we are about to become one of the biggest in the world, and that shift is apparent. That shift is visible. The panel before, we had Kalyanji talking about his first visit here in Delhi NCR. From there till now, have we made progress? Yes, we have. Will we make more progress? Of course we will. Do we have it in us to become one of the best, set a benchmark globally? We will and we shall. Thank you.
Thanks. Ravi, while I'm very hopeful about how we are progressing as a country and the city as well, but I think we have a long way to go. I don't see Delhi NCR becoming a benchmark in that sense from a global level, but certainly we are making a very, very fast and good progress. Obviously, there are benchmarks in itself, maybe various projects that could be benchmarks possibly. But for the entire city in itself, I think there is a lot of things to happen, which I don't think that can happen in 2-3 years' time or 5 years' time. It will take some time. But there have been many instances around the world where, from really bad situations, be it cities in China or cities even in the West, where they've had worse air quality, worse infrastructure, and in a few decades they've really done very well. So I'm very hopeful as such. It would be very easy and good to say that yes, in the next 5 years we should be in benchmark, but I think for all of us, not just developers, as citizens, all of us have to bring about a change in mindset, the way we conduct ourselves, which, I mean, generally our houses would be very clean, but maybe the locations outside would not that be clean. And it's a responsibility for everybody. It's just not just the government, not just the developers, but everybody has to bring about a mindset change. And we're getting there, but it will take some time.
I think after everyone's opinions, we've heard a lot, but the question itself is very good. Can Gurgaon NCR be a benchmark? So that shows our aspiration or the confidence that we can be one. And coming from everyone's thoughts, I think more of public-private partnership. Now that we realize that we need it, some projects in itself have become a benchmark, are becoming a benchmark. People are accepting it. The infrastructure problems, the hereby other problems, I think more of public-private partnership. The time is not far. Sometimes you see 2, 3, 5 years, it cannot happen, but once everyone gets together, I think it will happen.
No, I agree completely. And I think one very important point is the kind of population pressure we have as a country. And when I compare that with other examples in the world, I think we are doing fairly okay in Delhi NCR as well. We have uber luxury, we have normal luxury, and we have affordable. And we have a long way to go. I think we are still selling very little real estate in India as compared to the developed nations in the world. There is a huge scope in front of us. We are still short on housing in the country, and about 20 million units still short in the affordable segment. So the times ahead are very promising. The industry is very promising, and we have, I think, Modi ji, pushing us in the right direction. So wishing him a very happy birthday, and that's how I would like to conclude the session. Thank you so much, all the panelists that we had. Thank you, audience.
Thank you so
Thanks
much. Can we please have a bigger round of applause for them, please? Fascinating way to start the proceedings. Fascinating way to end the proceedings as well. Thank you so much. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be calling up on stage Mr. Akhil Saraf, who's the founder and CEO of Reloy, to please kindly come up on stage and give the token of appreciation. Hi, Mr. Akhil. Thank you. Give him a big round of applause as well, please, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Akhil Saraf. We'll quickly give all the mementos and then we'll do a group photo together. Thank you. Thank you. And of course, we have to sum things up with a group photo over here. We'll do a nice group photo over here with all of you over here at the front, please. Can I request all of you to come over here at the front, please? Aage aa jaiye aap log. We'll do a nice group photo over there at the front, please. And everybody, as we all know, synchronization is a key aspect of life. So let's synchronize and clap, please. 1, 2, and 3. Yes. See the magic that you bring in terms of the smile on their faces. That's what you do. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to all our speakers over here.